I am the owner of Myers Consulting Firm, and I am here to talk to you about the research that your company, Nikon Supply, has asked us to report on. What are the Japanese cultural influences on business relations? After researching the information, we have divided the data into 4 sections so you can better understand it. These groups consist of social, which will cover the customs, family life, housing, clothing, and food. Political, which will cover the political patterns in Japan. Business, which will cover the economic and business institutions and the workforce diversity. And last but not least, the values, which will cover the value system, religious, and folk beliefs. First, we will talk to you about the social aspects of the Japanese lives. When you first meet anyone from Japan, you should bow. Bowing consists of anything from a 90-degree bend at the waist to a nod of the head. Being a foreigner and not knowing the specific bowing techniques, a nod of the head will be fine. When you are speaking with the Japanese, make sure your facial expressions show how you feel, because in Japan they pay more attention to what your face is saying than what you are actually talking about. If they are frowning or interrupt, it means they disagree with what you are saying. Make sure you do neither if you agree with what they are talking about. In Japan, it is considered rude to keep direct eye contact with anyone. When eating in Japan, there are some simple rules you need to remember. Do not eat outside or standing at any time. This is considered very rude. If you point your finger, feet, chopsticks, or place your chopsticks vertically in your bowl, this means death. Always take your chopsticks out of the food before passing it to another person. If you need a refill, not only refill your own, but refill everyone's that also needs it. Never bend down to eat your food. Always bring the bowl to your mouth. Make sure the honored guest or eldest is furthest away from the door and the middle of the table. Do not mix your rice with other food. Do not pierce your food with the chopsticks. If needed, you may ask for a fork, spoon, or knife. When you are finished eating, place your chopsticks on the rest provided. Do not place them across your plate or bowl. In Japan, they like to savor their food. Therefore, keep your conversations to a minimum. In the housing in Japan, there are 127 million people that live in the country that is smaller than California. Most Japanese live in what are like apartments to us in the United States. Houses are very small and usually very expensive. In Japan, a family usually has a house with 1 or 2 bedrooms, a bathroom, a kitchen, and a living/dining room area. What does family mean to the Japanese? Family is of great importance. Because of the high population and limited space, Japanese have few children. As parents get older, it is their children's responsibility to take care of them. The older you are, the more respected you are in the Japanese culture. The roles of men and women and what is appropriate to wear to business occasions. In Japan, both men and women hold jobs. In some families, there are stay-at-home moms and dads, just like we have in the United States. In the business occasions, both men and women should wear dark clothing, conservative. Now moving on to the political aspects of the Japanese culture. The government is currently a parliamentary monarchy, which is highly compatible with the United States representative democracy. In the United States, we have 3 main parties that run for the head position in the government. But in Japan, they have 7 different parties, as you can see on the PowerPoint slide. Nowadays, Japanese government is starting to convert into a parliamentary democracy, which will be even more compatible with what we have in the United States. When doing business with the Japanese, there are no problems with the government getting in the way. This is what you need to know about the Japanese business world. To have great business with the Japanese, you need to start by building trustworthy relationships. At first, it might seem ridiculous to spend so much time just trying to earn their trust, but once you have it, it will have a great long-term business partner. To build a trustworthy relationship, you need to always be on time, listen to what they have to say and what they want out of this relationship, and no matter how hard the project is they give you, always finish it on time. Education is of great importance to the Japanese culture. They have a literacy rate of 99%, but compared to the United States, where you almost have to go to college to have a high-paying job, less than half of the Japanese who graduate from high school will go on to college. On the PowerPoint slide shows the ratio of men to women in the workforce in Japan. There is a 16% difference, but if 8% of the women that lived in Japan who currently don't have a job got one, the ratio would be 50% men, 50% women. The religious beliefs and values of the Japanese consist of around 84% Japanese people profess they follow both Shinto, the indigenous religion of Japan, and Buddhism. In Japan, you have the right to follow the religion of your choice. Values are set very high in Japan. Most Japanese like to keep peace and avoid confrontation. Also, when you are at a business meeting or invited to a Japanese house, you are to bring a gift to give to the eldest person or the head executive. This report should allow you to better understand the Japanese culture, but understanding the culture will make you be able to expand your company. Just remember to completely understand the important cultural differences, build trustworthy relationships with the Japanese executives, clearly understand what you wish to accomplish in your expansion to Japan. We would like to thank you for trusting Myers Consulting Firm to do the research on this project.